Welcome to my backyard. If you ever have been super stressed out in life, this video is for you. I'm going to tell you a few ways I got some peace and a little bit about backstory. My name is Reid. I founded a company called Reliant Technology, and there was a period of my time, my life, when I was super stressed out. You're in my backyard, and just across the way is my carport. I remember a time when I drove home, and I was literally screaming out to God, like, where are you? It was so stressful. I felt like I was alone. I felt like everything was falling apart, and it was just super stressful. The year was 2020. It was right before COVID. I had learned that we hadn't paid our taxes in other states since we started the business like 12 years ago, and we could owe up to $1.5 million in back taxes, and we're gonna have to untangle this huge mess. On top of that, we had hired a bunch of people, and our sales had gone down, our expenses were way up, and now we were losing over $1 million a year due to the choices we had made. It was just super stressed out because the people were stressed out. I mean, everybody in the company could feel this financial burden and the results we weren't getting. So people at work were not happy. So we had people mad at me, mad at the company, and it sucked. So when I came home that day, I mean, I was stressed all the time, but that day was huge because I was just like, where are you, God? I knew something had to change, and I'll tell you 3 things I did that really made a huge impact in my life. Number one, I read a couple of books, and one of the books talked about spiritual disciplines and a few prayers I actually learned to pray. And I'm a God guy. I actually felt very alone from God, but in that time I felt very alone. So what I did was I learned to pray this prayer where I'd close my eyes and I would visualize all my worries and everything that was going on in my mind. I would envision myself on a boat, and I'd envision myself giving all these anxieties and fears over to God and like dumping them in this ocean that was churning behind a yacht. It's crazy. I was on a yacht, sun's going down, and I envisioned myself dumping all these troubles into God's hand, which was the boil of the water. And I could physically feel like this anxiety being pulled out of my body. And after I would do that, I would say, God, just fill me with your peace. And it was just an amazing experience where I would feel so much peace from that. And to continue that practice, I learned how to do things throughout the day. So instead of just getting up in the morning and having like a quiet time or praying or maybe reading the Bible or something like that, I would go to work. It was stressful. I would just go for walks. I'd go for walks outside, have a little quiet. I'd close my mind, try to still my mind. And those little sips of God would do so much to calm down my mind because I was so in my head thinking through every plausible implication and causation and factor that might kill me. And it was not helpful. So learning how to take the sips of God throughout the day was huge. The second thing I did was just exercise. It was a time in my life when my exercise got a little more disciplined, and I would work out every morning, and it was a great thing. I started with like 5 minutes. If I didn't have time to work out, I'd do a 5-minute workout. You can find them on YouTube. But start with a couple of minutes, drink some water. It was such a huge impact for me to start working out and get that stress out of my body. And the third thing I did was I had to learn to face my fears. There were so many things I was afraid of doing, and I have to learn that the path is through the pain. And what I learned to do was make some of the hard choices to move the business forward and move us forward as a company. And one of the best decisions I made was hiring a key hire to insource our third-party maintenance and support. And that was just kind of a catalyst move. We just started COVID, had to let some people go because we were losing so much money. And I hired this key person. Our service got better. The tool Alytica that we built to run our service operations got better. The team got better. The team was using the tool every single day, and we could control the support experience. There was so much that got better because of hiring this key person and taking the risk, the chance, the gamble, the bet, and facing my fears and doing this. So if you're super stressed out, just know, 1, you're not alone. 2, God loves you. 3, I encourage you to take sips of God. It's such a huge thing to bring some peace and joy to my life. and hopefully to you. And exercise and face your fears. If you can build a community of people around you that can hold arms with you and help you make tough decisions, that's just a huge thing. I found that in EO groups, things like YPO and Vistage. But those are great groups, or just a group of friends that can lock arms with you and say, you're not alone, you're loved, we can do this. Just know there's a path and there's a way. If I can ever help you, please reach out, email, LinkedIn, whatever. Happy to chat with you about what you're going through. And yeah, just know you're not alone, you're loved. Have an awesome day.